What's up, nail geeks, and welcome to my introduction to Lurid Lacquer. I know the title for this video says that introducing, and you're probably like, Trish, what are you on? Lurid launched, I believe, end of January, and it's now March. So a little bit of a story time. I had the January releases on the way to me, and for whatever reason, post holidays in January, USPS decided that I didn't need any packages, and I had so much returned to makers. It was a little embarrassing, to be honest, because I'm like, my address is correct. It was just a whole fiasco. And so including Lurid's two sets got just lost in limbo land. We didn't know where they were. I was super geeked to get to show you guys the new collection and, you know, help hype up the launch, because real talk, it deserves to be hyped. But it didn't happen. And long story short, I do have them with me now. And thankfully, some of them are coming back. More information at the end of the video during the recap. But I'm pumped I get to have this massive video to show you all. And it's, you know, true introduction style to a brand. We'll talk about pricing. We'll talk about all the actual release info, again, at the recap. But just off the top, stunning. I know quite a few of you have posted online. I've seen, I've seen the pro swatches. I've seen the customer swatches. The polishes are beautiful. They're fantastic. And now I'm a little geeked that I get to show them to y'all in my own perspective. So with that said, if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Lurid Lacquer is a brand new brand. Again, her inaugural launch was in January, and she was, Maker Karen, was just teasing these mixing videos and stuff on Instagram. And I was like, who is this person? I mean, oh my gosh, just coming out of left field with these shimmers and these finishes. And I was like, oh my God, I need to get that on my nails. And I'm here to tell you, they apply beautifully. They're gorgeous. Again, I'm super pumped to show them to you all. But we have the first collection being the Thistle and Thorn Collection. And this is in our PR notes here. It's also on the website too. But the Thistle and Thorn Collection is a love letter to all trauma survivors that Karen knows, and anyone who has had to grow their own thorns to feel safe in the world. It's also a celebration of beauty, vibrancy, and ingenious natural defenses of plants. So really beautiful. It's in a poetry type format that she has written out. You can check out her Instagram. I'll link it in the description box if you're not following them. But each of them are the poetry lines, and I personally love it when you can tell a maker put a lot of thought into a collection, because it's art at that point. And so when I see, you know, names like this and so much thought and put into it, true to art, it invokes a feeling. And I think it evokes a feeling differently to everybody, which again is art. So given how this last week has gone for myself, when I see these names, it evokes this a feeling again, if that makes sense. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is the inspiration is beautiful, the polishes are gorgeous, and the poem is very, very nice too. Now, what also launched alongside the Thistle and Thorn collection in January is the In the Weeds collection. Now, this was not meant to be a collection. It was more like prototypes, but they were so pretty that Karen said she didn't want to just chuck them, so to speak, or just, you know, bench them. So she had them as gift with purchase for the first 20 customers. Thankfully, because I know you're just like me, anyone in the nail community, we all have FOMO and stuff. And especially for polishes that are, you know, you can't get, it's like, it sucks, especially for a new brand that some of us want to collect them all. And, you know, we can do that because the In the Weeds, the gift with purchases are coming back, and you can purchase them. You can see them. I'm going to show them to you. So we'll check out that as the second collection I have to show you all. And then we're going to go over the Three Oaks Road collection. Now, this collection is inspired by the maker's best friend, and what a sweet, sweet inspiration. They go on hikes and stuff, so the little names you can tell have little inside jokes and stuff. Go follow the brand. and just read up on her thoughts. It's beautiful. The collections are a little bit on the larger side, between 9 and 10 polishes. So kick back, get a snack. We're going to check out some pretty things. And without further ado, let's dive right in. And we're going to kick off this behemoth of a video with the newest collection for this month, the Three Oaks Road set. First, we've got I Await You, Friend. This is a cool-toned brown jelly base with a large particle aurora shimmer that shifts from silvery pink to green. So I have to say, across the board for this specific set, there's a lot of earthy tones here, and I'm very pleasantly impressed that I don't usually gravitate towards earthy tones, especially brown bases of pretty much any type, if I'm honest. And this whole set is fantastic. They're just earthy, if that makes sense. I Await You, Friend does have a jelly base. It does come off just a touch on the softer side in terms of opacity. If you want that plumper, thicker look, I'm going to strongly suggest painting the way I did. Go up to 3 coats and a good glossy top coat. The shimmer to this is large particle size, and it's quite shifty. Indoor lights, you get more of a silvery sort of cast. In shaded lighting, you'll see that beautiful golden green. And out on your street is described as a vibrant chartreuse base with an aurora shimmer that shifts from gold to green to blue. It does state in our PR information that this one might stain, and to be sure to wear a good base coat. I personally did not have staining on my falsies here, but just wanted to make sure everyone is aware of that. This is my top pick in almost the entire video. I am going to say this is one of those polishes. I don't say it very often, but I'm going to say you need this polish. This is one I strongly urge you to get. It does have a jelly type formula to it, and in terms of opacity, I think the shimmer is what's going to give you full coverage. I think 3 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect. This is chartreuse, however, it is 7 Up. It's lemon lime in the shift. Gorgeous. This is going to look beautiful on any skin tone. It's popping. This is perfect for summer. I love it, and I'm saying that about a chartreuse base. And Amid the Insects, Lulling, Serenade. This is described as a moss green jelly base with a vibrant aurora microflake shift from orange to gold to green and chartreuse light reflective glitter. All right, so we've got another jelly type formula going on here. This is almost what I would consider a kitchen sink sort of polish, but I do appreciate that the shimmer, the glitters, and the microflakes all go together. It doesn't look like it's just the hodgepodge mixed together. There was definitely some thought that went to planning this color scheme. It's really pretty, and my full hand shot is giving you the best representation. My swatches, I just don't think my photos did this one justice. I went a little extra with the finger wiggle there because it's so blingy in person. The large particles, shimmer, and microflake there gives you its own reflective, almost foil-like sparkle. But there's enough reflective glitter in here too that it does give you a beautiful sparkle on its own that way. I'm going to suggest a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat. And I Smile at Your Footfall is described as a hunter green jelly base packed with green to blue aurora shimmer. It's another pretty one. This is a very green heavy collection, and I'm not mad at it. We do not see green enough, in my opinion. It's just one of those colors I don't really think about, and then when I do swatch a damn good one, or pretty much this whole collection, I'm very smitten and I just fall in love all over. So Smile at Your Footfall is what I would describe as being almost chrome-like, like a true multi-chrome sort of feel and how it applies. It's got that metallic sort of just feel, vibe, if you will, from the brush strokes. I'm still going to suggest 3 coats with this one too. These are all heavy shimmer formulas, so I like loud, plump, and thick, and that's how I like my shimmers. So I'm going to suggest across the board 3 coats and a good glossy top coat. And the Refuge of Your Presence is another one of my top picks. This one's a cool toned pink base with green to gold aurora shimmer that shifts to blue at extreme angles. I love this one. I do love me a good delicate pink. I think it pops really well on my skin tone, and this is no exception. It does have a lighter formula to it, of course, because we've got that lovely packed full of shimmer type formula. We want that shimmer to shine through. 3 coats and a good glossy top coat is perfect. Now, I didn't note previously, but Lurid does have the wonderful paddle brushes. So that's really nice there. I think it helps to pick up all that extra shimmer goodness. And shockingly enough, I was very impressed that the Refuge of Your Presence did not have any streaking despite being so packed full of shimmer. So you can be pretty forgiving with how you go on your brush strokes, but 3 coats and a glossy top coat's perfect. And another one of my top picks is our Laughter Carries on a Warm Wind. This is described as a coral jelly base with vibrant aurora microflake that shifts from orange to gold and green, and coral light reflective glitters. This is really pretty. I do think that the base kind of leans, at least against myself, as a rosy sort of mauve appearance. It's very lovely. At least to me, I'm getting a bit more of a rosy mauve than, say, coral for the official description, but I do think the video is being pretty color accurate to what I'm seeing in person. Now, because this is so packed full of heavier types of glitter and microflakes, I'm going to suggest 3 coats, and you'll want to do the reflective glitter method I'm always talking about. Use the texture from your previous coat to adhere the next layer, and you're good to go. My swatches do show a lovely orangey gold sort of shift that is absolutely present in person. It's just such a lovely mix. This is another one you'll want to finish with a glitter smoothing top coat in addition to your glossy top coat. And the Sky Above is probably my 3rd pick. I know I'm going to keep saying that, and I'm so sorry. I tried to keep favorites to a minimum, but here we are. The Sky Above is described as a clear base with gold, green, orange, and blue iridescent flakes, micro hollow flakes, and silver light reflective glitter. And I know I'm always saying it, I don't like kitchen sink polishes. However, when the components go together like a proper, paint palette from Home Depot, if you will, I love it and I'm here for it. This looked so mylar reflective in person, and you can kind of see it on my full hand shot there. My macro shot kind of captured it. It's that purplish sort of glow when you see it at a certain angle. That's what I'm talking about when I mean mylar. You can kind of see it on my pinky there, but anyways, this is going to topper well, but it's built up so beautifully by itself. You will need a glitter smoothing top coat, a thin layer underneath your glossy top coat. And here is Tall Grass Enveloping. This is a cool medium brown crelly base with large particle gold to green to blue aurora shimmer. Another earthy type, but again, not mad at it. This is such a lovely cohesive collection. So Tall Grass does also have a jelly formula. This is one of the more lighter types. It almost leaned a touch on the nude to me in the base. So if you are medium to deep, it might pull that way on you too, almost like it's a bit of a foundation color, if you will. So I think this is going to be flattering across the board. It's just shimmery goodness. It's almost like, because of the neutral base, it's almost like it has its own built-in blurring base, if that makes sense, because what's giving you the opacity here is the shimmer. Again, I'll suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat. And the last one for this set is the Sanctuary of Our Love. I love this one too. This is a cool pink base with glowy red to copper aurora shimmer. It does state in our PR info, the shimmer is what gives this polish a warm toned appearance. And I do agree with that. On my first coat there, you can get an idea. The base is a cool toned pink, but yes, the shimmer is what's packing a punch and making it look very warm. And I love when polishes have that contrast there. It means that, at least to me, it's not warm on warm, which has the potential to wash out on someone like myself, who is very warm, undertoned, and it's just pretty. Anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox for warm and all that good stuff. This also has a jelly light formula, so to plump it up and get it extra thick like what I prefer, I would suggest 3 coats and a good glossy top coat, as it did dry down on the more flat side, just packed full of that shimmer goodness. It does have a lovely, almost like dawn sort of orange glow at more extreme angles. And we're going to move into the In the Weeds collection. This is the second set that's going to be offered this month and was the gift with purchase mix in the first release. So first, we've got a Formidable Opponent, another one of my favorites. I'm so sorry. Again, I try to keep favorites to a minimum, but damn, these are good. So a Formidable Opponent is described as a cool medium purple crelly base with aurora shimmer that shifts from green to blue and silver light reflective glitter. This is another very glowy one. Shimmer lovers, this brand is really up your alley, up our alley, I should say. Now this has a touch more reflective glitter to it than in the previous set that we saw. So it is going to have quite a bit of thirstiness and texture. So I would strongly suggest a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat. Sunshine will see that nice sparkle effect from those reflective glitters, but indoor you'll see that gorgeous glow from that shimmer. Just really nice and what I would consider one of those cool-toned, universally flattering type polishes. And here is a Rose Amongst the Weeds. This is a dusty rose to mauvish sort of base with a vibrant purple to pink to red shimmer. This one is very heavily neutral. At least I would classify this one as a strong neutral. It also has the jelly, thinner sort of feel like we saw on some of the other shimmers in the first set. So I'm going to suggest 3 coats and a good glossy top coat to seal this one up. If you have a very prominent free edge, I don't think it's going to be very obvious, even if you built it at 3 coats, but it does have a lighter formula, so I would suggest maybe a blurring base coat of some type if that bugs you. I don't think it's necessary, as you can see on my full hand shot that you really can't see through the polish. So take that what you will. This one also dries down on the flat side, so again, plump glossy top coat is going to be your best friend for this one too. And Barbed Beauty is described as a gray jelly base with a vibrant purple to pink to red shimmer and silver light reflective glitter. So this is what I would consider a sheer type of formula. As you build it up, you will get opacity from the shimmer itself, but it's almost like a faux opacity, if you will. So if you want that thicker sort of appearance to your nails, maybe a blurring base coat, or cheat like how I do. If I'm going to do something like that, I'll use a nude to me cream. But I don't know. I just thought it looked fantastic by itself. There's really no reason to kind of mess with these. The glow on this is bananas. I love it, love it, love it. I don't know. Your preference. I personally wouldn't wear it with any type of base. It's nice. Go with your normal base color. I am not scared of the slightest bit of a smile line when it comes to polishes like this. And here is Beautiful Day for a Bee Sting, one of my top picks for this set. This is a semi-sheer aqua base with an aurora shimmer that shifts from green to blue. I love aqua type finishes and they always pop really well on me, and it's also summer and springtime. Bee Sting does have a lot of shimmer going on here. This also is what's going to be building up for your opacity, as the base itself is on the very lightly tinted side. So because of that, I'm going to suggest going in for 3 coats and a glossy top coat. Be mindful of your brush strokes because this one does have the potential for just a tiny bit of streaking. So it is pretty user friendly, but just don't overwork it. I would just caution against that. You want that nice universally uniform look. And Bramble and Burr is described as a chocolate milk taupe base with a vibrant aurora shimmer that shifts from green to blue to violet at extreme angles. This is another surprise like for me. I'm not a fan of neutrals most of the time. I mean, I appreciate them as palette cleansers. Maybe I do appreciate them, but I don't usually gravitate towards them as my top picks. But these I don't know. The shimmer is so freaking strong. It's beautiful. And even though it's a warm brown, which I will always shy away from, it looks great on me. So if you're medium to deep skin tone, I would not say to shy away from this. I think it still has a potential to look beautiful on you because it does have such strong shimmer. I would suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat for this too. Burdock and Buckthorn is described as a berry base with green to blue iridescent flakes and purple reflective glitter. Well, we've got a flaky bomb going on here, just a little bit of a different sort of finish than what we've been seeing so far. And this does have a very plump type of feel. It's got that super squishy sort of feel I'm always talking about. Because of that, I'm going to suggest making sure to use the texture from your previous coat to adhere the next layer. Going very, very thin with this one. If you overbuild it, it's going to not look that great. So make sure you go in very thin, build it up at 3 super thin coats, and you'll get the most color payoff for that base color. And you'll get that beautiful pond effect, seeing those chunky flakes in between your coats. You will need to use a glitter smoothing top coat in addition to a glossy top coat to smooth this out. Quite sparkly in person. It's got that dense sort of scatter sparkle, and the flakes give you this beautiful iridescent look. And here is Morus Alba, my faux, described as a rich, cool-toned emerald base with green to blue aurora micro flake and bronze light reflective glitter. So this is what I would consider a true emerald type of green. I absolutely agree with the official description. It built up very easily for me at 3 coats. I think across the board, I did 3 coats for all of them. I will always say that 3 coats for special effect indies is going to be in your best interest because you'll get the most payoff for your nails, and shimmers like this, I think it just plumps it up really nice. This has an almost foil-like sparkle as you build it up. It does have the reflective glitter to it, but it's more of a scattered sort of feel in terms of texture and thirstiness. I still use a thin layer of glitter smoother in addition to my glossy top coat. This is really interesting because in some lighting it looks emerald. At angles, I did see a blue shift from the shimmer. And Silvergrass, one of my top picks, is a pale pink curly base with large particle Aurora shimmer that shifts from a silvery pink to green. I love this one too. Another baby pink. It's very soft and delicate. It kind of gives me like lacy sort of vibes. The shimmer here is almost flirting with what I consider a foil-like shimmer. It's going to give you this metallic sort of sparkle across your nails. And the base color itself has a bit of a milky sort of appearance too. I'm still going to suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat here. This one does dry down a touch more on the flat side, so I think a plumping glossy top coat is going to be perfect. Just, you know, a quick dry you've had sitting off to the side for a hot minute. That's what I typically like for shimmers like this. And Wolf Spider Surprise is a rich blackened brown base with green to blue Aurora microflake and green light reflective glitter. In comparison to Morus Alba, because I know you guys are going to ask me, Morus Alba has that true emerald toned base. And this one, Wolf Spider Surprise, very true to its name, it's got that dark chocolate sort of appearance to the base. As you build it up, you can kind of see it. It's almost mud-like in terms of the color. I don't mean that in how it looks. You can just see there's a brown base going on here, especially at the ends of my nails. I think 3 coats and a glossy top coat and a glitter smoothing top coat is going to smooth this one out the best. You will see a more obvious blue shift like what you see on my macro shot here versus then the blue shift you saw on Morus Alba. And then lastly, for the In the Weeds set, we've got Women vs. Weeds, the Weeds 1. This is an orchid curly base with green to blue Aurora microflake. Okay, so this also has a jelly formula. It is very light in how it builds up, and it's got an almost foil-like appearance because the shimmer here is also a large particle. So very obvious, and it's got that metallic sort of sparkle that we see on foils. This is really flattering. I love this type of orchidy sort of pink. I think it popped really well on myself, and in more extreme angles, there is a touch of a blue shift to it. You can kind of see it on my macro shot there. This dries down quite flat, so you'll want to finish with a plumping glossy top coat. And to finish it off, we've got the Thistle and Thorn Collection. This was the first set that was released and is going to be limited in how many bottles she's got because of the brush shortage. So first we've got Thistle and Thorn, the namesake. This is a cool mid-toned green jelly base with purple to pink shimmer. So this is what I would consider a lighter type of formula. It's definitely on the jelly side. If you have a prominent free edge, you might see a touch peeking out. So normal visible nail line disclaimers for Thistle and Thorn. This dries down on the more flat side, so you want to finish with a glossy top coat. The shimmer is quite fine particled, and I think my full hand shot gives you a good idea of that. It has a dominant purplish sort of glow. At angles, it does have a pink shift to it, but that's more on the extreme side. I think 3 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect. Be careful not to overbuild this, as it does have a bit of a squish to the formula in general. And Nettle and Briar is a seafoam green base with glowy pink to orange to gold shimmer. I really liked this one. It's got a very similar formula to Thistle and Thorn, so of course, visible nail line disclaimers here too. It did have a less squishy type formula than Thistle and Thorn, so I think you can be just a touch more heavy-handed in how you apply for this. This shimmer is dominantly pink. At more extreme angles, there is a touch of that gold coming out to play, but I think mostly you will see that glowy pink. Very spring in a bottle. And Quiet is another one of my top picks. This is a soft gray base with purple to pink to red shimmer. This is lush, it's lovely, it's, again, neutral. I'm eating my words big time on this video. Quiet has a neutral base, and as you build it up, it's really the shimmer that's going to give you your opacity. And it has a strong, milky sort of vibe going on here. It plumps up really well. I didn't find a need to, be really careful with my brush strokes or overworking it. No issues there. And as you build it up, this is lush. This is such a, I dare say, almost office type of polish if you want something neutral with a little bit of a bling factor to it. The shimmer is mostly purple with that reddish at extreme angles. You can kind of see it on my macro there. You'll mostly see the purple though. And Unyielding is another one of my top picks. This is a cool toned pastel purple base with purple to pink shimmer. Hold on to your hats because I got a couple more purples that I'm gonna make myself sound like a liar because I'm always hating on purple. This is Dusky, which is even funnier because I always say I don't like dusky polishes. I don't like purples, but whatever. Unyielding is gorgeous. I thought it flattered my skin tone so ridiculously well. It's beautifully glowy and cool toned, and it popped so good on that third coat. This dries down semi-gloss. I think any top coat's perfect. I think this is gonna look just beautiful on any skin tone. It's universally flattering. Very extreme angles, you'll see that pinky sort of shift come out to play. It's a touch on the subtle side. You'll mostly see the purple glow against that purpley base. And Indomitable is a violet leaning purple base with a vibrant purple to pink to red shimmer. It does state in our PR information this might stain. I did have staining with this one, so if you have Gel X, falsies, or porous nails, be sure to wear a good base coat. This is beautiful. It has been a very long time, couple years in fact, not even that, years I should say, that I've had a purple give me a really bad challenge for color accuracy on my photos. So I didn't tinker with the editing on my photos here so much because it was so frustrating. Please note for color accuracy, my full hand shot there is what it looks like in person. This is beautiful, stunning, glowy, and it's fantastic. This one and that lime chartreuse that I showed you all at the beginning of the video, these are two 10 out of 10 I'm going to say you need. Through Drought and Abundance is a taupe gray base with vibrant pink to orange to gold to green shimmer. It's another neutral that's very beautiful, and the shimmer here is quite strong. It's very obvious. I really liked that all of the shimmers in her collection, which, we've got a ton of them in the video, all of the shimmers, I didn't have to do a whole lot of acrobatics or anything to kind of make sure that the audience got to see that on, say, my macro shots. Sometimes I have to kind of work it a little bit to make sure everyone can see what I'm seeing in person in front of me, but I didn't have that. These practically photograph themselves. They're so very packed full of their components. I can tell that Karen did not skimp on any of the ingredients in any of these polishes, which is what I like. This is what draws me to indie polishes in the first place. And Reaching Skyward as you root is described as a deep, cool brown base with green to blue shimmer. I love this one. And I know in the Three Oaks Road collection, we see a lot of brown bases with a green to blue shimmer of some sort. I do think they're all pretty different respectively, but if you're going to be like super nitpicky on that, I think Reaching Skyward is another one that you'll want to pick if you're wanting one of the browns with the green shimmer. Please note that this is Thistle and Thorn, so it is limited. So if you can't grab this one, if you're not quick enough, then of course we've got a couple other brown bases with green shimmers in the Three Oaks Road set. Anyways, Reaching Skyward has that gorgeous, obvious blue shift at angles. I would suggest 3 coats and a good glossy top coat. And here is another one of my top picks. This one's Only Fools Fail to Admire. This is a soft, pale pink with glowy pink to orange to gold shimmer. Man, I love polishes like this. It's glow upon glow, and the base kind of takes a back seat, which, that's what we're seeing on almost all of the pure shimmer formulas in all 3 of the sets. Here, I will also suggest, again, 3 coats and a glossy top coat. This is pink goodness. I love this type of pink. It's almost like a baby pink, but just a touch more bold and in your face. I think it's so flattering. This is gonna look hella badass on medium to deep skin tones. Lighter tones too, though, because that's just that type of pink. I love it. Love, love, love. Another one that's going in my top picks for this video. And the Wisdom of Your Armor is described as a dusty rose base with green to blue Aurora Microflake shimmer and bronze light reflective glitter. Okay, so we've got another earthy brownish sort of base with a greenish to bluish sort of component to it. Again, I think they're all pretty different, but if you're not quick enough to grab Wisdom of Your Armor or Reaching Skyward as you root, we do have some other options in the Three Oaks Road collection. With that being said, if you want these, I'm not going to blame you. You'll definitely want to be quick if you did not grab them the first round. I'm not sure if there are coming back in the future. I do know that the maker, Karen, said that she's going to try to keep things back within another restock or so if the people demand it, so lack of better words. Wisdom of Your Armor does have a bit of texture and thirstiness, so you'll want to finish with a glitter smoothing top coat in addition to your glossy top coat to smooth it out and get it to pop so sparkly. And here is You Survived. This is a bright mid-toned green base with green to blue Aurora Microflake and bronze light reflective glitter. So comparison to the others that we saw, which have more earthy type of base tints to them, You Survived is more, a straight green, almost Kelly green. It's a bit brighter than what we're seeing in the other greens in the entire video, if you will. This one also has a bit of texture and thirstiness because we've also got reflective glitters. So you're seeing a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat on my full hand shot here. This is such a March St. Patty's Day sort of green. It's just really pretty. I can see a lot of nail art for this. Now, please note my photos are showing a very blue shift here. This one's a bit of a minx, depending on the light situation you've got. But for color accuracy, for what you're going to see, mostly I would refer to the actual video swatching portion. And Oh Dauntless Guarded Beauty is described as a clear base packed with green to purple iridescent flakes and purple reflective glitter. So we have a flaky bomb going on here mixed with a touch of reflective glitter. This very much like the other flaky bomb we saw, I think 2 sets ago in the Three Oaks Road collection. It has a strong plumping factor to it. So same disclaimer, repeating myself again, you'll want to use the texture from your previous coats to adhere your next, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know the drill at this point. Go in real light and let it slowly build up to 3 coats. This has that super strong mylar appearance, and you'll want to finish with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. Smooth out those reflective glitters, but the flakes are also giving you texture too. You have to use that glitter smoother to get it nice and glossy and see that beautiful iridescent flake effect. And then lastly, we've got Now Thrive. This is a teal jelly base with green to blue iridescent flakes that shift purple to pink at extreme angles, micro hollow flakes, and a sprinkling of hollow pigment. This one's really pretty. Another very universally flattering color. This is what I would consider almost like a distant cousin to Dauntless Guarded Beauty. It's got that same mylar looking appearance with those chonky flakes and a touch of sparkle from the reflective glitters. You'll see a bit of a mosaic-like effect, a pond effect if you will, because it's got that more jelly-like formula. Gorgeous layering effect going on there. You'll finish with a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat to get it nice and smooth and glossy. This is really pretty, and it does have a blue shift at more extreme angles, kind of like what you're seeing on my macro shot there. All right, to wrap up this behemoth of a video, we're going to finish it with the Will It Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. I feel like I don't have to talk a whole lot on this part because most of you know the drill. Those of you who really appreciate the Will It Topper segment, we've got jelly formulas, so across the board, they all work out on your street. This one and Indomitable, I'm telling you all, please do not miss out. It is stunning, both of them. And they all just, they topper so good. There's so many layering capabilities you can do with these. They're chock full of special effect pigments, shimmer, microflake, all that good stuff. I Smell Your Footfall looks more like a metallic, true multi-chrome looking appearance over black. So same thing with the Refuge of Your Presence. You can layer these over darker colors to get that beautiful multi-chrome looking appearance. Laughter Carries on a Warm Wind also gives a better idea of a more reddish tint over a dark base. Sky Above, this straight up looks like a topper, a really, really dense topper by itself. gosh, I love this one so much. It's so good in person. It's so sparkly too. I don't think that translated really well on the video. Tall grass, same thing. We've got that gorgeous, larger sort of shimmer effect. I feel like this entire video, I'm fangirling. I'm so impressed. It does not look like Lurid is a brand new maker. I'm really, really impressed. Like, do not mean to give anybody super FOMO vibes, especially for the Thistle and Thorn set. Again, I like to think that these might come back. She did not say that these were going to be final release. So while this entire video is just chock full of beautifulness, I do know that all three sets are quite large. So I would not freak yourself out. I don't think these are like 100% final releasing. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I know what it feels like, especially when you find a brand that you want to collect them all for. And I think this brand has those types of Pokemon gotta catch them all vibes to it. Some of these more shimmery type of finishes give off straight multi-chrome appearances over black. So super interesting. I think a lot of the metallic sort of ones you can do over dark grays, blacks. Now, Burdock and Buckthorn, Guarded Beauty, and now Thrive, these heavier flaky bomb sort of jelly finishes, you might want to be more matchy-match with their base colors. Those are really the only ones that I would say you'll probably need to be a little more careful with that. But everyone else, especially Silvergrass, like that looks so different over black. You can really get into color theory and kind of mess around and layering different ones. At this point, I don't even have to I don't even have to talk about each one. They're all speaking for themselves. These are stunning. While we're all listening and going through the Willet Topper segment, let me know in the comment section if you guys grabbed Thistle and Thorn. I want to know what of your gift with purchase from the In the Weeds set did you get? What did you think? I want to know your thoughts. Were you just as impressed as I was? Because stunning alert. I cannot wait to see what other things Lurid has in store. And I say that with a little bit of sarcasm because I do have her April collection actually right here next to me at my desk. So Unyielding does have a bit of a streakiness in how it applied there. And I think that's just because it has a milky type finish. So I just wanted to state that. Indomitable, it's gorgeous. It's very vampy over black. I think you can get really creative with that one too. And these last couple of straight shimmer finishes are beautiful. I love the shimmer in Through Drought. It's got this gorgeous crimson-y looking vibe to it. Reaching Skyward, I don't know. There's just something about that shimmer in this one. I say shimmer, it almost looks like a multi-chrome pigment. I don't know. I'm not a maker, but you get the idea. Fools fail to admire. I can see this one looking stunning over a dark gray too. So feel free, go nuts with it. I do think you have a lot of versatility. Some of these just look like straight up toppers. It's ridiculous. And there's so much pigment here. I also like that the reflective glitters give you enough of a sparkle and bright lights, but it's also not overtaking the shimmer and microflake that we're seeing in some of these mixes. So that was really nice. I feel like if you've got shimmer, you got to let it shine by itself. So all the pretties that we just checked out, these are going to be launching officially March 15th. As of right now, I did get an email from Karen that says that Thistle and Thorn Collection is going to be limited to 50 bottles each of each of the, I guess, overpour, if you will. And that's just because she's having some issues getting caps, which I'm going to say that's a pretty good issue to have when you're having growing pains so early in the game. That's really amazing, and congrats. I wish this maker all the success. I recommend them. If you can't tell already, I say give this maker a chance and get your socks knocked off by just checking them out. So I'm going to link you guys below to Lurid's website and her Instagram page. If you haven't checked that out, highly encourage you. If you geek out about, makers getting really inspired through their art and stuff, go read her posts. They're awesome. So I'll have all of this broken down, timestamps, what have you, in the description box below. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.